Hey friends, what's up? Philip here with Points of Phillip, and I actually have some insane news and I want to talk to you about it. So Chase just confirmed one of the more terrible aspects of those Chase Sapphire Reserve rumors that came out last month. So we're going to get into it, but before we do that, I want to go ahead and ask you guys to like and subscribe. Doing that helps me and YouTube know that what I'm doing is helpful for you, the viewer. And also by doing that, that makes it so YouTube shows it to more people, which I benefit from, and hopefully everyone else will as well. More importantly, though, if you already are a subscriber, I want to thank you so much for being a supporter of the channel. I really appreciate it. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the rumors today. So let's take a look here at what's going on. So Chase's website appears to confirm that multipliers that were previously leaked in an email sent out to cardholders as a survey actually will be taking place. Now, I say appears to confirm because some users and some devices appear to not be able to actually access this website anymore. Now, this was actually on chase.com and it was flagged by a couple users on Reddit, but so I was able to access the Chase website on my phone, but I wasn't able to access it on my desktop. And so they may have pulled it, but it appears that, you know, the marketing department may have jumped the gun and they might be actually correct. But let's get into what the multipliers are, at least according to Chase's website, as of Tuesday morning. So that's 8 points per dollar for any Chase travel bookings. And so on the website, the way it's worded, it's very wide open, right? So if it's on Chase Travel and you use the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you get 8 points per dollar. So it seems to be anything that you can book through Chase Travel. Now, you can get 4 points per dollar on any hotels or airlines booked directly. And so this is going to be important because essentially if you use your Chase Sapphire Preferred with a hotel chain directly through the app or the website, you get 4 Chase Ultimate Rewards points per dollar. Now you also get 3 points per dollar on dining. And so that's pretty standard for Chase cards. Basically, it seems that most of these Chase cards come with 3 points per dollar on dining, but this one does too. And then 1 point per dollar on everything else. So now, just to go ahead and check the boxes, you also get lounge access through Priority Pass with up to 2 guests, and then you also, and that includes essentially Chase Sapphire lounge access and Maple Leaf lounges through Canadian or Air Canada. You also get no foreign transaction fees, amazing travel protection benefits. I love Chase's Visa Infinite Travel Protections, and then TSA PreCheck Global Entry Credit. So, all right, now that we've got into that, let's talk about what's missing. So what's missing here, and the major pain point is that there's a 3x, there currently is in the Chase Sapphire Reserve. There probably won't be in the future, and by future, it could be today, tomorrow. You'll know more than I will. So this was 3 points per dollar on travel. And so basically if you booked through Kayak or Expedia or Google Flights or anything that was kind of like an online travel agency, you got those 3 points per dollar, at least, you know, according to the way the Chase Sapphire Reserve has been. And so that is, at least according to this latest information, gone. And so you have to take a look at other cards if that category is important to you. So if you're someone who uses Airbnb, if you're someone who uses Vrbo, well, if you're using Vrbo, maybe you want to take a look at the One Key or One Key Plus cards, but we'll get into that in another video. But if you're looking at booking through those platforms and you want to maximize your points, and so you don't want to just do it like a catch-all through Chase, that would be the Chase Freedom Unlimited at 1.5%, X per dollar, or the Venture Card 2X per dollar. You would take a look at, you have 2 really solid options that are kind of inexpensive. So you also have the green card with American Express. Now, this has transit categories and travel categories, and between those 2 things, well, it's really awesome. So if you're traveling and you're paying for parking, that's going to be covered in 3X. If you're going to be getting a rental car, that's going to be covered in 3X. If you're going to be getting Airbnb, that's 3X, right? 3X across the board on a lot of different categories. Plus, that also has that 3X dining category as well. And so this green card, depending on how you do your travel purchases, could be a better fit than this new Chase Sapphire Reserve that's been kind of confirmed. Now, that has a $150 annual fee, but it also comes with clear credit, which is also something that's not on this list for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So that's interesting. Now, you also have Citibank's has an entry as well. That's the Citi Strata Premier. That gets 3 points per dollar on dining, but it also has a very broad travel category that can work for a lot of those purchases. And so if you're someone who is booking to try to save the most amount of money on these online travel agency websites, then the Citi Strata Premier or the American Express Green Card will be good for that 3X category. And that's what formerly was on the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now, that comes with 3X dining as well, and in addition to 3X on gas and a bunch of other things. And that comes with an even smaller $95 annual fee. So if this category is something that's important to you, then these cards can help you kind of cope with that loss, so to speak. Now, does this change matter? So, I know basically, YouTubers love to talk about bad news, right? But honestly, for basically how I do my spending, I don't know if this would be a big deal. Now, previously, I got a lot of use out of the green card, and if you want to learn about that, there's this video here. But you get 4 points per dollar on the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So the card that we're talking about today, you get 4 points per dollar on airfare and hotel purchases booked directly. And so that's going to be important for if you're someone who likes to book directly with your hotel provider of choice. So if you like to book directly with Hilton or Marriott or Hyatt or IHG or whatever the case it is, even if you're a choice person, you still get those 4 points per dollar. And that's also the case for airfare purchases as well. And so, that's kind of nice, right? If you're someone who does book directly, who doesn't really go through the online travel agencies, or doesn't really use portals that much because you'd rather focus on earning a specific hotel loyalty program, then this card could still be good for you. Now, obviously the other part of this is if you want to use a hotel loyalty card, you're probably going to be better off earning in that hotel's currency than doing anything else. So for instance, if you have the Hilton Aspire card and you want to stay at Hilton's, you're going to be getting 14 Hilton points per dollar, which may or may not be worth more than the 4 Chase Ultimate Rewards points. So depending on how your situation is. Now, let's take a look here at Chase Travel. So Chase Travel gets 8 points per dollar. Now, is this worth it is going to be the operative question. And that's basically, in my take is, if you're booking through the Edit collection and you're able to earn, loyalty points with that hotel chain, if you're able to attach any loyalty benefits that you have with that hotel chain as a part of that Edit booking, then yeah, I think I would use that, and I think I would prefer that. 8 points per dollar is kind of nice, and especially with Chase Ultimate Rewards points, they seem to be easier to use and get value from, specifically because of Hyatt and a number of other providers like United and things like that. So that could be nice, but again, that's not really something probably that I would be doing a lot of. But that could be worth it in the right circumstance. Now, how does this compare with other premium travel cards? So obviously we have to compare it to the Venture X and the American Express Platinum. Now we would like to compare it to the Citi Strata Elite, but as of this video, we don't got it. So we're going to work with what we got, right? So the Venture X here does much better in portal bookings. Now 10x, 10 points per dollar with Capital One is pretty good. Now, some people don't really care for Capital One points. I like them because most of my redemptions so far have been done with Aeroplan, with Virgin, or with Air France, because I like to use Air France or Virgin for Delta flights, and then Aeroplan for United flights, and then I also like their international options. So as long as I'm using those partners, then my American Express points, my Chase points, and my Capital One points are kind of worth about the same, because those transfer rates are 1-to-1. Now, so if you basically essentially you can earn 10x per dollar on Chase or Capital One portal bookings. Now, the only problem is they don't have it's a little bit harder to get loyalty rewards, or I don't have that much experience. If you do have experience and that booking through Capital One's premium travel portal hotel portal gets you hotel bookings, please let me know in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious. So I don't know if I would use it, but you get a little bit worse on everything else, 2 points per dollar and everything else. So if you're just going regular shopping, say you're in Paris and you want to go buy that Louis Vuitton bag, you're getting 2 points per dollar by paying on the Venture X, but you're also only getting 2 points per dollar on dining purchases. So, it is what it is. Now let's take a look at the Platinum. So I have the Platinum and I really enjoy having the Platinum. And so essentially this gets 5 points per dollar on prepaid hotel bookings that are paid for through the portal, so the American Express travel portal. So essentially, basically, this gets you, you have to prepay, but if you go with the hotel collection or the Fine Hotels and Resorts collection, you could get those hotel loyalty benefits. So you also get 5 points per dollar on any airline purchase directly with the airline or through the travel portal. So that's kind of wide open, and that kind of edges out the Chase Sapphire Reserve in that respect. But it only gets 1 point per dollar on everything else, so you don't really get that dining category with the American Express Platinum. In order to do that, you have to add the American Express Green Card at $150 for 3 points per dollar on dining, or you could add the American Express Gold Card for 4 points per dollar on dining. Now that is worldwide dining, but some places may not take American Express cards, and they're much more likely to take the Visa card with a Chase Sapphire Preferred, or the Venture X for that matter. So basically, if you want the dining category, you kind of need 2 cards with American Express, and whereas if you just want 1 card to bring with you, you just bring this. Now this is the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. I don't have the Reserve, but if you did have the Reserve and you wanted to have 1 card to rule them all, it's hard to do wrong with that one. Now you don't have a catch-all category, but the dining is covered and you don't have any foreign transaction fees on that card. So with American Express, if you want dining, you're going to pay through the nose much more than the projected new Chase Sapphire Reserve price. Now, here's the thing. Is this a good change? Time ultimately will tell, but my past bookings, I've been booking directly with hotels. And the fact that you don't have to prepay through the portal in order to get that 4x. Remember, in American Express with a Platinum card, you have to prepay to get those 5 points per dollar. So the fact that you can just get 4 points per dollar just for using the card, whether you prepay or not, gives you a little bit more flexibility with making those bookings. And that's kind of nice, right? So that can beat out the Platinum, honestly. So realistically, yeah, we're losing something pretty significant, but the multipliers are decent, and it would be a little bit easier, say, if you were dealing with player 2, to just give them this card and say, use this, right? Yeah, you'll be losing out a little bit on, that catch-all category, but between the travel and the dining purchases, it's not a bad travel card, honestly. It remains to be seen whether or not we can use the coupons, and we'll get more information as that gets confirmed. But right now, this is what we have confirmed, so that's what we can talk about. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you again in the next video.